If an ordinary citizen misses 1 or 2 monthly payments on a bank loan, recovery agents show up at their door. Yet one individual managed to hold a debt of 11,400 crore rupees without paying a single rupee in interest for 7 straight years, in total silence. That individual is Nirav Modi. Before the scandal broke, he was a highly respected fixture in the global luxury market. His brand catered to the ultra-elite. Necklaces he designed were fetching over 100 crore rupees at Christie's auctions in Hong Kong. He expanded aggressively overseas, opening a lavish Madison Avenue boutique in New York and rubbing shoulders with high-profile figures like Donald Trump Jr. Scaling a retail diamond empire across multiple continents requires massive, continuous injections of cash. Modi had the ambition, but he lacked the legitimate capital to sustain that kind of rapid global expansion. He found his funding source not on Wall Street, but hidden inside a mundane branch of the Punjab National Bank, or PNB, in Mumbai's Kala Ghoda district. The entire glittering facade of the Nirav Modi brand relied on a specific vulnerability buried deep inside the Indian state banking sector. To import rough diamonds into India, merchants need credit. Taking a standard loan from an Indian bank means paying high domestic interest rates and losing money on currency exchange, so merchants prefer borrowing from foreign banks where interest rates are lower. This flowchart shows how merchants normally secure those overseas loans. A local merchant requests credit. The Indian bank then sends a guarantee through the international SWIFT messaging network to a foreign bank. Once the foreign bank receives that SWIFT guarantee, it releases the funds directly to the diamond supplier. This document is called a Letter of Undertaking, or LOU. To prevent the Indian bank from absorbing all the risk, there is a crucial safeguard built into this process. The merchant must deposit equivalent financial or physical collateral into the local bank's vault before the LOU is ever issued. Modi bypassed this requirement by bribing the inside man at the Kala Ghoda branch, Deputy Manager Gokulnath Shetty. With Shetty on the payroll, that collateral safeguard was entirely removed. Shetty routinely transmitted official SWIFT guarantees for Modi's companies, obligating PNB to cover the debt, without collecting a single rupee in security. To keep the bank's auditors from noticing billions of rupees in unbacked liabilities, Shetty completely ignored PNB's internal core banking system. He never logged the transactions into the bank's digital ledger, leaving a massive blind spot between the international SWIFT network and local records. By exploiting this gap in data entry, Modi effectively turned a state-owned bank into his own limitless, unsecured credit card. The cash flowing from those compromised LOUs wasn't actually buying high-end diamonds for his luxury boutiques. Instead, Modi set up a shadow network of 17 shell companies operating out of places like Hong Kong and Dubai. To obscure his ownership, he paid uneducated dummy directors 8,000 rupees a month to put their names on the paperwork. As this diagram illustrates, Modi engaged in circular trading. He purchased low-grade, cheap diamonds and then repeatedly sold them back and forth between his own shell companies. With every pass through a new node, the invoice price of the diamond ticked higher and higher. Modi then took these heavily inflated invoices back to the compromised PNB branch. He presented them as proof of massive diamond imports, allowing him to request even larger, unbacked LOUs to extract more cash. He combined fake collateral exemptions with aggressively inflated fake invoices to engineer a closed-loop system, legally printing his own money and moving it offshore. This multi-billion-dollar machine ran smoothly for 7 years, but it had a fatal structural flaw. It required Gokulnath Shetty to sit at his desk and intercept every inquiry. In May 2017, Shetty retired. A new, uncompromised manager took over the foreign exchange department at the Kala Ghoda branch. When Modi's companies applied for their next round of LOUs, the new manager asked for the required collateral. Assuming the old arrangement was standard practice, Modi's team arrogantly replied that they never provided security deposits for their loans. The manager immediately checked the internal system. The sudden discrepancy between the SWIFT messages and the blank core banking system exposed an 11,400 crore rupee hole in the bank's accounts. Realizing the steam was over, Modi and his family fled India in early 2018, weeks before PNB fully grasped the magnitude of the missing funds and alerted federal authorities. A sophisticated 7-year heist wasn't detected by a team of elite auditors or financial regulators. It collapsed simply because of a routine shift change. After a global search, journalists spotted Modi living in a luxury apartment in London. He was eventually arrested and transferred to a cell at Wandsworth Prison. He has spent years fighting extradition to India, with his defense team weaponizing human rights laws and submitting mental health reports to delay the process. Back in India, the impact of corporate pillaging is immediate and severe. When state banks lose billions, public trust evaporates, and everyday depositors are left to face the financial consequences of missing capital. Following the exposure of the Kala Goda branch, the Reserve Bank of India banned the LOU system entirely, but state banks are still routinely forced to declare and write off massive sums as non-performing assets. Regulators eventually close the technical loopholes, but the financial devastation remains. The public absorbs the losses, while the architects of the fraud fight extradition from European jail cells.